recovery for insane performance. Today, we are going to learn how to actually recharge for insane performance, and you do that by understanding what is allostatic load, executive athlete mindset, and then applying the strategies for clearing the allostatic load. It's very important. Let's start by wearing glasses because I'm practically blind without them. So, what is allostatic load? It is the cumulative physical wear and tear that is caused on our body because of constant adjustment to life's pressures. As we move through life, our body has internal cuts. Okay, the gym analogy: when you work out, your muscles constantly wear and tear out, right? And that is the nature. When you put anything to stress, it will wear and tear down, right? So does our body. So who originated this term? This is not important, but still, for the geeks, it was coined by McEwen and Stiller from Rockefeller University. I think your curiosity is titillated. Now, impact. It accumulates in your nervous system. Okay, your nervous system is overloaded because of this allostatic load, and high load is equal to constant stress adaptation. Because of that, our body releases stress hormones, which is cortisol and adrenaline, which puts us in the state of fight or flight, which totally takes us out of the homeostasis, which is like the normal state of life, the calm state, the peaceful state of our body. Because of these stress hormones going crazy inside your body, you come out of this homeostasis, the perfect stage of peacefulness, right? And that affects your brain, your cognitive functions go down. So it disrupts your flow cocktail, all the hormones, neurotransmitters that you need for amazing focus gets disrupted because you are stressed a lot. And what are the consequences? You have low drive, you have no motivation, you have no zest for life, and you have a frenzied fatigue, and you are always alert. You might not always alert, but you feel that frustration. You are always tired, right? This reduces your productivity heavily, and it deteriorates your health. Long term chronic stress totally fucks up your health, your mental health, and your physical health. Okay? And it shortens your career lifespan because of so much stress. Your life can go into a full blown burnout, and your career can be shortened, and your goals become impossible. So it's very important to deal with this. Now, how do you deal with this? First, you have to adapt an executive athlete's mindset. Now, an average business owner is not using his biology. He is actually dragged down by the biology because most business owners work in a sitting, in a very poor condition of working. I'll explain what is a poor condition and what is a good condition of working. While biology propels an executive athlete, this human body was not made to just sit on a desk and work for 8 to 10 hours every single day. Here's a beautiful analogy. Okay? An athlete is mostly training, and for a small amount of his time in the whole year, they are competing. While a professional or an executive or a business owner, they are they are not training at all, and they are performing 8 to 12 hours every single day. They are forced to perform for 8 to 12 hours every single day to work on their business or to um, work for their bosses. An athlete has off season for most of the year. Okay, the recovery period is huge, while an executive might take like 3-4 weeks of vacation, which is not enough for your body to rest. So an athlete's career also lasts about 7 years, while an executive career can go up to like 40-50 years. So how do you expect to stretch for 40-50 years and have a good performance and not have all the bad effects on your body because of that huge stress? The key principle here is to leverage your energy right? Not just hours of working, but the quality and the quantity of energy that you have inside your body and how you are leveraging that, how you're using that energy. So, you have to understand the oscillation of energy and recovery. Most people are demanding huge energy from themselves, but they are not giving themselves enough time to recover. They are not doing amazing recovery. Okay, so how do you get amazing recovery? Let's talk about actionable steps now. First of all, we have to raise the ceiling of recovery. On that oscillating graph, the recovery thing needs to be raised. Right now, mostly it's execution. We have to raise the recovery thing as well. When you are building muscle, recovery happens when you're sleeping, and that's when your broken muscle fibers are super compensated, and that's why they grow. In the gym, you break your muscles under stress and tension. Your muscle gets micro tears, and when you are taking deep rest, in that stage of deep rest, your muscles gets super compensated. Okay, and that's why they grow. So if we just keep on working with linearity and no oscillation between deep rest and deep work, we'll have chronic damage or atrophy. If we keep on curling, our biceps would not grow but tear down. Okay, so that is a very important concept, that if you keep on going, your muscles will atrophy. That's why recovery determines the limits of exertion. If you don't recover much, you will not be exert yourself as much in work. You will be performing suboptimally. Okay? So systematically increase stress and then deep recovery. That is the way that we need to go forward. We have to systematically increase, not just keep on working 100% of the time. Okay? And when we do the deep recovery, we emerge super compensated and rejuvenated. That should be the aim of recovery. Emerging super compensated. Whatever state that we went through after a big day of work, the next day we come better. And how do we do that? I have a few things, and then we talk about active recovery protocols. This is the best part of this video. Stick till that. Okay, so relaxation is not recovery. Let me clear it out. Netflix and beer is band-aid on a leaky pipe. It is not recovering you. It is maybe just halting you and maybe even messing your brain more, because you are constantly stimulating yourself. Okay, it doesn't flush stress toxins. It doesn't kickstart your parasympathetic system, which is the more calm state of your mind. It doesn't. You're just simulating yourself even more. It doesn't replenish your neurochemicals, which are needed for focus, which are needed for amazing performance. So, you should do active recovery. And what is active recovery? Actively promotes healing and rejuvenation. That is active recovery. It activates parasympathetic nervous system, which is like rest and digest. That is the parasympathetic mode. Okay, and it counteracts the sympathetic fight or flight stress. If you are in the fight or flight mode, that is the stress response. Your body will release more cortisol and norepinephrine and all these stress hormones. And active recovery pushes you in the state of parasympathetic, which is rest and digest. So clear allostatic load and recharges the body where you do active recovery, and it is essential for flow cycles. Okay, it is essential for you to get into focused flow states in your deep work. So I'm going to talk about a few recovery protocols. These are very, very important. First is the breath work protocol. Whenever you are taking a break, I advise you like take these things very seriously. You can take multiple breaks between your sessions and then do these things. So The 478 method, which is like you take in breath for 4 seconds, hold for 7, and then release for 8 seconds, or can be a box breathing, like 4 seconds inhale, 4 seconds wait, 4 seconds exhale, 4 seconds wait. So it's like a box breathing. And cold therapy, ice baths, very good for recovery. Most people say that okay, you should not depend too much on ice baths, especially after a workout. That has been studied that it does not help after a workout, but if you are doing it first thing in the morning, it's amazing for recovery and waking you up. Okay. Heat therapy, sauna, and hot baths, very great, awesome for recovery. It deeply recovers your body through bodily fatigue. Okay. Then massage, structural integration, and myofascial release, all of these things are like physical release. When you do a massage, when you do myofascial releases is basically some facial exercises, and then your face becomes very rested. Okay. And then meditation, after when you do a full like 15-20 minute session of meditation, you feel rejuvenated, you feel recovered. So I think you should do at least 10 minutes of meditation, maybe in the morning or in the evening. Okay. Exercise, especially the cardio form of exercise, that is that gives you a post exercise flush for NS regulation. Okay. And then you also have all these neurochemicals in your brain, neurotransmitters like endorphins and all, which also boost your mood. When you spend time in nature, when you spend time outside, when you can see like wide horizon lines, it is calming to your brain. When you hike, go for a hike in a near mountain, your body feels so much more relaxed. Okay. And then sleep, this is the ultimate recovery. If your sleep is not like awesome, you will always wake up tired. So sleep in active state consolidates info, it reduces amygdala activity. Amygdala is the part which is responsible for like most of the stress responses, and glymphatic clearances, like whatever um, garbage is in your brain, the glial cells clean them up when you are sleeping. And muscle repair, obviously. So what is the litmus test for recovery? How can you feel that your body is recovered? So objectively, you wear a device and then you check your heart rate variability. If it is increasing, then you are well rested. And subjectively, when you have like a feeling of a mini vacation, that okay, I feel like I'm on a mini vacation. I don't feel like, oh, I constantly need to work, need to work, need to work. Then you are well rested. If you're constantly stressed out, your performance will be impacted. Okay. And I'm not saying that do not do anything stressful, anything risky. That is the opposite of what I'm saying. So we'll come to that in like step 3. Um, but the importance of recovery, you cannot ignore that. It should be a part of your work and not against it. And you should out oscillate others. Don't outwork. Don't outwork others. If you have a consultant friend and they are working for like 10, 11, 12 hours a day, it is much better to take 6 hours of deep recovery protocols and then work insanely for 4 hours. That will produce almost the same output, because when you are working for a long stretch like 8 to 12 hours, your output veers off after like the 4th hour, especially when the type of work you are doing is involving your brain. If it is intellectual work, you are writing something, producing something, or making something, then after like 4th hour, you can't work deeply for more than 4 hours. It is been studied. Okay. So don't try to outwork your biology. You can push through, and in your 20s you won't feel that much, but the constant pressure on your nervous system, it will reveal to you when you like get in your late 20s. Many people have said that to me, that when they were in their 20s, like early 20s, they were like fully hustling, and I was also like that. But when I knew that that actually impacts your nervous system as a whole, I became a little more sane. That we need these oscillations of deep recovery and then deep work. This, like the huge stress of 10 to 12 hours of shallow work, is very draining for your body. And all that Alex Hermosi says, that guy is on steroids, okay, first of all. I love that guy. Huge respect of what he has been able to accomplish. But that guy is on steroids. So if you want to stay naturally fit, naturally be able to um, do good stuff for a long time, I think taking a more sustainable approach like this will be great. Okay, more hard charging needs is equals to more need for recovery. You need to be overcompensated, remember? And don't ditch recovery during stress. Lean into it. Okay? You should schedule active recovery. Daily hour long practices, which can include breath work, sauna, ice baths, or nature walks. Weekly, have a full day stacked with protocols like swimming, workout, hiking, nap, massage. Ask your friends to massage you and do that, like return that favor to them. I have a bunch of friends. Shout out to okay, I'm not saying his name. He gives me awesome massages whenever I need them, and then I return the favor. It's a great way for your body to relax. Okay, and then monthly 3 day period of digital detox, active recovery of focus. That happens when you totally detox your devices. You're limiting your information intake. Totally relaxes your brain. Okay. Quarterly, you can take a 10-day rest period, and annually, you can go for a 2 week, totally complete reboot of a vacation. Okay. And the last step, which is like a mindset, is working like a lion. A lion is either sleeping with the pack or sprinting to kill. Okay. Work as a ferocious sprint followed by exorbitant recovery. So the 4 hours that you do work, give it your all. Intensity should be the one thing that you should be focusing on in those 4 hours. Okay? That allows your nervous system to recalibrate. The exorbitant recovery, that allows nervous system to recalibrate. Avoid gray zones, which is like half working and then low value distractions is also happening side by side. When you're working, you're also scrolling, and then a friend is also talking to you. So don't do that. Shallow work like that should be avoided. Okay. And if you have a lot of these things that you must get done, batch them. Executive athletes is like 100% intensity or 100% switched off. You should not be in the gray zones. Okay, sometimes you can be, you have to, but try for this, aim for this, and then ruthlessly eliminate everything in between. Push limits higher and higher, and that's how you will have insane performance. I hope you like this video. Please subscribe to this channel, share this with your friends if you found any value. I definitely need to grow to like 10,000 subscribers by the end of this year.